Now let's summarize what we have already learned. So basically we have proved theorems related to parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus and square. These theorems can be broadly classified as line theorems, angle theorems and diagonal theorems. Firstly, line theorems. The first one is opposite sides are parallel. The opposite sides being parallel is the basic criteria for a parallelogram. Therefore, this is true for a parallelogram. And since all these are children of a parallelogram, so this will be true for all of them: rectangle, rhombus and square. The next one is opposite sides are equal. Again, here in parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Therefore, this is true. It is true for a rectangle, rhombus and square, since all these are children of parallelogram. The last one is all sides are equal. This is not true for a parallelogram. And it is also not true for a rectangle. But it is true for a rhombus since all its sides are equal. It is also true for a square since it is a child of rhombus. Let's move on to angle theorems. First one is opposite angles are equal. Since it is true for a parallelogram, so it must be true for a rectangle, rhombus and square. The next one is all angles are right angles. This is not true for a parallelogram. It is true for a rectangle. It is again not true for a rhombus. But since it's true for a rectangle, therefore it is true for a square. Now the last ones are diagonal theorems. Since it is true for a parallelogram, so definitely it will be true for a rectangle, rhombus and square. The next one is diagonals bisect each other at 90 degrees. It is not true for a parallelogram and it is also not true for a rectangle, but it is true for rhombus and square. The next one is the diagonals are equal. It is not true for a parallelogram. It is true for a rectangle. It is not true for a rhombus, and since a square is a child of rectangle, so it is true for a square.